Israelites. We teach with Great Millstone Nashville Camp. I'm Brother Lawyer.
I'm Brother Yawasop.
All right, we coming through with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out there, the believers. And this lesson will be entitled "The Blessings to Come." All right. Well, really, I don't have a title for the lesson right now, but right now it's going to be "The Blessings to Come," because we're in the midst of that. We're in the midst of the destruction, the deliverance, and the blessings. You know, and so it's important that we speak about the blessings as well, because we touched real hard on the curses that our people are suffering from. Right. Well, the blessings are coming too. So I'm letting the brother start off with Deuteronomy 30:7. Because these curses are going to fall upon our enemies, and they're happening slowly but surely, you know, and day by day, the curses are going to speed up, and the blessings are going to speed up. See, we're in a transition period.
That's the spirit. I got that word right here.
What?
Transition. That's the spirit. This is the word transition from Oxford Languages. It says the process or a period of changing from one state or condition to another. A verb, undergo or cause to undergo a process or period of transition, man.
Break it down.
It's about change. What the brother is going to right now. We're in a transitional period from the fall of Esau to the rise of Jacob under the authority of Yahweh Shemel Shai, headed by Yahweh Shai himself, King David, the 12 and 144,000, man. We're in that transitional power, like the brother said, of the curses being lifted up off us and being put on the heathen and the wicked. And then the blessings being lifted off the heathen and the wicked and being put on the nation of Yasharallah, man. So you want me to go ahead and get started? So this is Deuteronomy 30, and I'm going to start at 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things that come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power hath driven thee, and shalt return unto Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh Shemel Shai will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations, whither Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power hath scattered thee.
From all nations. Because Israel was scattered in all nations, not just over here in America, but primarily we're over here in the States, all 12 tribes, right? But you have Israelite foreigners. Y'all keep forgetting about the Israelite foreigners. You know, it's not just about this right here. You know, like 1 Samuel 16 and 7, the Lord don't look on the out, he look in the inside.
Verse 4, if any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power with all thine heart and with all thine soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and do all his commandments which I command you this day.
So the Lord's going to put all these curses that were upon us in Deuteronomy 28:16 on down. All these curses are going to be upon our enemies. Now, when you go into basically Babylon, right, the Edomites, they're going to receive double. Really, all nations, they're going to receive double. You know, so it's going to be these curses times 2, you know, and we're going to receive the blessings times 2. Now, did you want to add something to that? I don't know. Okay. And so all these different curses that were upon our people, right? The diseases, you know, famine, right? This happened here in America. you know, in other parts around the world where the heathen are, and where Israel is too, you know.
So this is Genesis chapter 17, verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for an everlasting covenant. And that's going into what? The blessing of Abraham through Isaac, through Jacob, unto the 12 patriarchs that fall upon us today, man. The true children of Israel, man. That's an everlasting covenant, man. The Most High, Yahweh Shema Shah, made a promise that we will receive what? And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, man, which is the garden that was eastward in Eden, where right now the Amalekites have taken into their possession, man. That's not their land, man. That's not a fulfillment of prophecy that the 1948ers would be in that land, or the 1948ers.
Yeah,
that's not a fulfillment of prophecy, man.
Not that Balfour Declaration. You know, that's how they got into the land. During World War I, they signed one document, which was the first Balfour Declaration. Then World War II, after World War II, they signed the second, you know, document, which was the Balfour Declaration, which is not in the scriptures. And where's King David at? Huh?
Verse 8, and I will give it unto thee and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power. Which what is establishing what, man? That we would have our land, the land full of milk and honey, and that Yahweh Shema Shah will be exclusively dealing with us, man. I just wanted to bring that out.
Oh, that's cool. You maybe you know what, maybe switch gotta switch the speed up here. Alright, so let me go to Salakia. Let me go to Isaiah 60 or something else I had in here. Actually, you know, I just start from Deuteronomy 28. You know, I just stick on, you know, I let it come. All right, so this is Deuteronomy 28. When you read Deuteronomy 28, start at the beginning to the 15th verse, it names all the blessings. All right, now once we think upon this, you know, is this upon us to this day? All right, it says, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will bless thee on high above all nations. Right? So the Israelites will be blessed on high above all nations, which means what? All nations would serve Israel. That's why I was going to do Isaiah 60. You know, all nations would be serving Israel. That's not even happening to this day. Only thing that's being served over there in Israel is war, right? America paying money unto them. That's not serving Israel, you know. Salakia. And it says, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
And I want to make a quick point. There's a difference between listening, hearing, and hearkening. Those are three different words for a reason. Listening goes in, it can go into one ear, it might bounce around in your eardrum and go right out, man. Hearing means, yeah, I might be paying attention intently to you, man. But hearkening is putting all that into action, man. Listening and then doing. The Lord said hearken. He never said, that's why our people are in the state they are in today, because they didn't hearken.
And they don't have them spiritual ears. They don't have spiritual ears to hear and spiritual eyes to see what's to come. You know? And it said, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of the ground, and the fruit of thy cattle. We don't have none of that. We don't have none of that. Remember, we're not in our land no more, right? We're in a strange land. You know, we're in the land of the heathen. We don't have none of this. It says, Salakia, blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. So even with our goods, right? You go to Ezekiel 4, it says that we're going to eat our bread defiled among the heathen. So right there, that's one curse. We have to go to our heathen. Yeah, we have to go to the heathen. I said our heathen.
Like, hey man, they in the spirit, you're right, because they are our heathen.
Yeah,
man.
that's true. Our servants, you know, technically, right? So we got to go to them for everything. But then, you know, after this transitional period, when the blessings are upon us, they're gonna come to us. And by them coming to us, you know, That's a form of them worshiping the Lord. You know, we're going to be the Lord's monument. We are, you know, still even to this day, Zion to Zion, which means monument. You know, so the Lord's going to magnify His monument so that He can get the praise and the worship. Salaki. It says, blessed shalt thou be when thou comest to, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. So whatever you do, you're going to be blessed in doing so. You know, during slavery, we were building the master slave houses and so forth, right? It said that we shall build a house, and you know, basically we want to, we want to say again.
We shall build a house and not dwell in them.
No, yeah. So even to this day, man, everything that we put our hand to somehow either get taken away. You know, for instance, like your car. You know, you might have an accident all of a sudden. You know, or get it repossessed. You know, other nations, man, they have loans. You know, shit. They benefited off of us being down. I want to switch up the speed on this. I could read the rest of this, but I don't want to. I don't know. Isaiah 60.
I'm gonna grab this is Baruch 2 and 31. They shall know that I am the Lord, their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. And even that is a sign of that transition, man. The fact that we're able to come out here and receive that quickening, man. That talks about in John, and it also speaks about briefly in Ezekiel 37, man. That spirit, that breath of life coming back into us. That's a blessing in itself, man.
Ooh, I got something for that. All right, this is Isaiah 11, starting at the top. It says, and there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots, and the spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord.
And that's about Yahweh Shai.
Yep. And I said that because, can you read that back in?
This is Baruch 2 and 31. And shall know that I am the Lord, their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name.
And what will cause that? It'll be the spirit of the wisdom. You know, it says that in Wisdom of Solomon that men were saved through wisdom. It was the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You know, the true understanding of why we went off, you know, or how we went off, while we're still persecuted, you know, and you know, under the curses to this day, you know, and how to get out of them curses. The only way to get out is through Yahweh Shai. For all you Israelites that don't believe in Yahweh Shai, you Old Testament only Israelites, you know, y'all through. All right.
Baruch 2 and 33, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord, with the brother which is briefly going into. Verse 34, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And that's also part of the blessing, man. Our blessing is synonymous with returning to our land, returning to our heritage, man. Being the people of the Lord again, man, and our totality being being brought into that destiny and that legacy of the sons of God. Verse 35, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, man. Understanding that what the whole focal point of this whole Bible, man, this whole collection of books is centered around the Israelites and their relationship with their God, man. It's it's an exclusive book. It's not inclusive, man. If you're not an Israelite, these words have no profitability unto you, man. Mm-hmm. And they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. That's also going into Jeremiah 31, man. Mm-hmm. That new covenant, man.
Mm-hmm. That's in Hebrews too.
Hebrews 8.
Mm-hmm. Let me get something. I got something in Hosea 1 and 10. It says, yet, and 11, it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Then shall Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, all right? Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Jezreel is another name saying Israel. So that day is coming, you know, where the northern kingdom and southern kingdom under that one head, which is Yahushua, the chief cornerstone, right? Under his father Yahweh will be set up. We will be set up, and everybody else will know. All right?
And that's a blessing in itself, man, that we're, like I said, we're given this knowledge, man, because what? You gotta understand this, man. Picture it like this. Israel is the house, man. Our house was destroyed, man. A great tornado came through, which is the judgment of the Lord, and totally decimated our house. Now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're getting our house remodeled. It's getting built back up, man. It's gonna be modernized, totally updated. It's gonna have the nicest painting, great ceramic floors, all that, which is gonna be the kingdom of heaven, man. That's a blessing, man, because just look at it in the cardinal sense, man. Sometimes when natural disasters come through and wreak havoc, man, people, they gotta go move somewhere else, man. They gotta leave all that behind, man. But no, we have been given that blessing by Yahweh Shem Yahushua to get our total house remodeled, man. And then going into what? The changing of our bodies, the changing of our spirit, our minds, man. That's a great blessing, man.
Man. So, it's like I was looking for something. I'm gonna go to Isaiah, right back to Isaiah 11. And all right, this is Isaiah 11, starting at verse 3. Now this is talking about Yahushua. It says, and shall make, because the kingdom consists of Yahushua. All right, it's not just us, you know, the 144,000. Yahushua is the main player, the main key player of the kingdom of heaven. That's why I'm getting Isaiah 11, you know, because many Israelites forget that Yahushua is the chief king in the kingdom of heaven under Yahweh, right, and alongside with King David. It says, verse 3, Isaiah 11 and 3, and it says restoration of the Messiah's kingdom. That's what it says in this Bible, you know, the restoration of the Messiah's kingdom. It says, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. It says, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth, right? It says the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek are the Israelites, the 144,000, the 1/3. It says, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. So right, was going into the curses of the wicked, right? But hey, the ultimate curse is when he come back with them chariots, that nuclear fire as well. It's many multiple curses that they're gonna go through that's not written about in Deuteronomy 28, you know. But it's written in other verses talking about how the Lord's gonna give vengeance upon the heathen, you know, and recompense to the people, payback. And it says, and the righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. Now this is also going into the blessings of Israel, right? Dealing with our children. We're gonna read it. It says, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together. A little child shall lead them. So hey, in the kingdom of heaven, our kids won't have to be worried about being put to death. You know, shit, it won't even be animals feeding and killing each other. They're gonna go right back to eating straw, grass, hay. That's real peace. All right, when Israel's at peace, the whole earth will be at peace. Like how it says in Proverbs, Isaiah 14. No fella has come up against us. Talking about the trees gonna rejoice. That's also in 2nd Esdras, I believe it's the 11th chapter. I'm gonna have to look that up after we get off here. But it's in the Apocrypha as well. You know, talking about how the whole earth is gonna rejoice when Israel, when Esau is taken down, and when Israel's brought right back up into power. You want to get something?
Come on, this is Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Verse 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Hamashiach.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall reign forever and ever.
Hey, that goes into Daniel, man. Hold on, I got Daniel 2 and 44.
What you people gotta understand, is the kingdom of heaven is gonna be a rulership, a governing body established here on the planet Earth, man. It's not gonna be some great explosion where the Earth implodes and then explodes, and then I don't know what happens to the, you know what I'm saying? They'll say the Earth explodes, but nothing else happens in the universe.
Right.
Like nothing like we don't hit Mars or some shit like Mars
Right.
doesn't explode.
Right.
That's all fable and folklore, man. The kingdom of heaven will be here on this planet Earth, man, and we're gonna rule it. We're gonna rule it with our Lord, man.
It says that that will be done
On earth
as
in
in heaven.
heaven.
Come on, man.
Meaning that perfect order, that perfect tranquility, like you brought out last week.
Mm-hmm.
That state of peace, man.
Mm-hmm. So this is Daniel 2. It's like my eyes really bother me. This is Daniel 2, and I get to the point. Salakia, let's see, because I want to go into the 10 toes, but I don't want to get too long. I just get the point. This is Daniel 2 and 44. When you read up before that, it goes into all these different kingdoms, right? Then it goes to the fourth beast, which is America, which is going to be taken down. All right, we know it's America.
With violence.
Mm-hmm. With violence, yep. Shall that great city be thrown down with violence? So this is Daniel 2 and 44. It says, in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, other nations, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. It says, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power have made known to the king what shall come to pass. Hereafter the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is true.
What do you say? The dream is certain, man. The interpretation of it is true, man. Because Daniel understood that what this statue symbolized kingdoms, man. It symbolized the rulership of the wicked until the rulership of the righteous come into fulfillment, man. The dream is certain, the interpretation of it is true, meaning it's gonna happen, man. Regardless of whether you think you can stop it, whether regardless you don't want it to happen, it's gonna happen of a surety, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Shoot. Let me get something real too. This is a precept. This is Isaiah 6. This is a precept to what we had read in Daniel 2 and 44. I started at verse 10, and it reads, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee, for in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So in the Lord's wrath he smote us, right? The curses came upon us. The strangers are not the same strangers in Isaiah 14 and 1 or 2, where it said that the strangers shall be joined to Israel. Though that word goes into Israelite foreigners. This word for strangers in Isaiah 60 and 11 goes into the heathens. So the heathens are going to build up our kingdom. That's another part of the blessings. You know, we're not gonna have to work no more. Ain't no damn jobs in the kingdom of heaven, like how Jake like to ask that question. Will we have to work in our kingdom? Hell no.
And what king doesn't have servants?
Come on, man.
What member of nobility doesn't have people who wait on them hand and foot, man?
Mm-hmm.
It's just you got Jakes out in the world that don't want to have slaves and servants. Jakes out in the world don't want to execute the same judgment and vengeance upon the heathen, man. But hey, man, it's gonna happen, man. We're gonna have servants. We're gonna have slaves, man. Hey, Isaiah 14 and Jeremiah 30th chapter, and all thine adversaries shall go into captivity. Every last single one of them, man.
Let's shoot. Revelation 13.
Con.
You know, come on, man.
What king doesn't have servants, man? Hey, David didn't cook his own food. Come on now. In the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna have Jake's making ramen noodles, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
No,
The
man.
GMO noodles.
Come on, man.
It says that dealing with that, we read in the blessings that, you know, our basket is gonna be
Bless, man.
blessed. Ain't no damn ramen noodles.
Right.
Ain't no more GMOs. You know, ain't no more you know, us being in this vile body.
All right.
You know, that shit gonna be done away with. It's gonna be a new heavens and a new earth, a new rulership.
Refreshed.
Refresh, kainos. The word is kainos, you know, which means refresh. Just like how in Revelation 14 it says that they sung as it were a new song. I believe that word might be kainos, which means refresh, or to bring back. This word was once taught, you know, in times past. Now it's being taught again, starting with our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, the ones before them, King Mashah, High Priest Ariah, Abba Bivens.
The word is kindness.
It is kainos? Yeah, so it's kainos, man. Kainos. You got something else? So I just want
We
Okay.
go back until, you know.
all right, this is Isaiah 60:11 says, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. That man may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, or the wealth of the Gentiles, right? Didn't it say that Joel, they have taken, no, hold on, that's Salakia.
James, their gold shall be a witness against them.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, I can get that.
All right. I'll finish this out while the brother get that. that man may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. So their kings gonna be brought, they're gonna be made to minister, to serve to Israel. All right, it says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. And so, hey, if you other nations, y'all don't want to serve Israel, you're gonna be wasted. And ultimately, that nation would have to be the nation of Edom, because when you go to the book of Obadiah, it talks about them being destroyed. Hey, so they're gonna be the main nation that still be rebellious. They don't want to serve Israel in our kingdom.
So this I got.
Yeah.
This is James 5:1. It says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. What? Ye have reaped treasures together for the last days, man. And what does the scripture say? The rust of them shall be a witness against you. And how does rust come about, man? Being as a process of time, man. This money, this filthy lucre that you have accumulated and heaped onto yourself through robbery, theft, and lying, stealing, and killing, man, it's gonna be a witness against you, man. Because hey, you still have it, man. You still have all the gold that you took from the Aztecs and the Incas, man. You still have all the pleasant, goodly things that you took out of the temple of the Lord, man.
Even the southern kingdom.
Huh.
See, I just want to throw this in there. They teach that in Africa, right? We were just like the Hamites, that living like them.
Huh.
No, we had kingdoms. When you have a kingdom, you have certain riches and gold, wealth, material, artifacts. They took all that shit from us. Not shit, Saki, but they took all that stuff from us, man.
And they still have it, man. Hey, why you think they create all these museums, man? They create these museums as a puffing upness, man. To say, yeah, I took it here. It's right here, man. Look at it. Look at the results of my wickedness, man. You can come and pay $20.99 and come look at some shit that we stole from another nation.
They it says that, you know, they're gonna dig up the bones of Israel. You know, yeah, it said in the book of Ezekiel, I believe,
yeah.
they're gonna dig up the bones of Israel. Hell, they dig up the bones of other people,
Yeah.
but they really focus on Israel, the true rich people. You know.
But the overall point was what, man? All the riches that you had taken and heaped onto yourself, man, we're gonna get all that, man. We're gonna get it all back and then some, man. Matter of fact, we're gonna get you, we're gonna get your families, we're gonna get your riches, we're gonna get all the wine that you got stored up in them cellars in France, man, all the nice cheese, all that, man. We're gonna get it all.
I think they said that in Job too. Wasn't it in Job? I think this is Job. Let me see if I can find it. Job 2 or something. Let's see. It's talking about his riches. Salakia. You got something else? I'm gonna see if I can find it. I thought it said somebody he's gonna give up. He's gonna have to give up everything that he took in Job. Job 20.
It's in the book of, I think it's like
28.
they shall vomit it up or something like that.
Yeah. They should vomit up the riches that they see if you can find it out. Yeah, so everything these other nations took from us, man, they got to give it back double. You know? And it's a lot. Bear with us for a second, real quick. Because I want to find something too.